And these are a component called transistors.
Ooh, say that. We're here at Pittsburgh Allegheny K-5 in the Pittsburgh Public Schools.
Which is the development site for the Children's Innovation Project.
And the Children's Innovation Project is an interdisciplinary project of Carnegie Mellon's Create Lab, and it began here in my kindergarten class working with Jeremy in 2010.
We're approaching a question around what could meaningful technology education look like with young children.
And from the very beginning, it's been an inquiry about learning about learning.
Technology is our material, but we don't think of technology as the ends. It's sort of a vehicle through which the learning happens. We're looking at creativity as that kind of primary driving vehicle for that learning that usually is so closely related to mathematics and science. We begin to introduce circuits through our circuit blocks, and it's a very visual system. So the children will build a circuit and they'll draw what they see, and then through that process they draw a schematically correct image of their circuit. So their drawing becomes a tool to understand why something is or is not working.
It allows children to look more deeply, to slow down, to find depth in the smallest of things.
She listens and she takes the notes, but she really doesn't jump in. They're saying something because they heard what someone else is saying, not just because they had something to say. The last decade or so, under the pressure of global competition and under the pressure of testing within the country, you can see how the learning and rehearsal of skills, whether it's arithmetic or literacy, becomes so central. What teachers like Melissa is really interested in is the development of the children on the inside.
We sort of just began, and we didn't know what we were doing, but we were able to sort of try something and respond to what worked and what didn't work.
And Jeremy, created all these blocks.
So all of the materials we have, exist through that iterative process of learning with the children.
They're using the circuit blocks and the various components to understand about electricity and circuits. But it's not so much about the content as it is about the pedagogy and developing the habits of mind. So what we're encouraging children to do is to look carefully, to speak precisely, to ask questions, to collaborate with others, to problem solve, and to be curious. And those are important things.
What we're finding is that carries over into reading comprehension, into mathematical thinking. There's so much embedded in this work that really touches so many subject areas.
I was in a classroom where a 5-year-old was saying to me, no, this isn't a switch, it's a potentiometer, because it doesn't go click, 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 click. So I was rather surprised.
One of the values in having electricity as the content for this work is that most teachers don't know about electricity, including myself.
The teacher may not have the answer, but the teacher can help to facilitate the inquiry toward the answer.
That opens up a space for student-led exploration and a deeper learning and development of questions and layers of questions.
And I think that fundamentally underscores the kind of everyday interactions that happen in these classrooms. It comes from a place with clear roles, teachers and students, but with a much more leveled and balanced relationship. That it's not about someone there merely to receive whatever someone else have, but this idea that they would go back and forth. That's kind of how we usually picture adult relationship to be like. But to have that quality of reciprocal relationship in the context of very young children, I think that was what was so remarkable.
What kind of screwdriver are you using?